We are live. What's going on, everybody? It's Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist, coming at you from sunny San Diego. And going live right now to Facebook, my Facebook pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Vetpreneur Tribe. Wanted to try something new and include the veterans in on this. So today, I'm going to be talking about the importance of being the face of your company. And this isn't always an easy topic, especially for veterans. Not everyone wants a ton of attention. Some people like having a private life. I get it. But hear me out. This might be what you guys need in order to take it to that next level of business. We've got Mike and Jason. Thanks for checking this out, guys. For those of you who don't know me, I am one of the moderators in Vetpreneur Tribe. I'm one of the first 20 members. I do PR and social media visibility in San Diego, 39 clients on TV, and I also own Shift Magazine. So a lot of media type stuff. So today we're going to talk about why it's important to be the face of your company. We're going to talk about ways that you can implement the things that it unlocks, and then just some easy strategies that you guys can do to get more eyes on what you're doing and associate your face with your company and why it's important. At any given time, feel free to ask me questions. Let me know, if you have any hesitations or you need tips for getting in front of the camera, stuff like that. I was a very, very shy person, and over time, I got over my fear and became very, very public. I ended up getting 255 media interviews about my insane life story, going from high school dropout and college dropout to PhD. And that definitely helped me to get the confidence in order to move forward and be a public figure, for lack of a better term. How's it going, Silky Stephanie, Tim Weber, Diane, Chris Belcher? There's a lot of people in Vetpreneur Tribe watching this. That's cool. All right. So before we get started, let's give a shout out to VetCom and Kate Monroe. I consult for them. They do veteran disability claims. Just wanted to congratulate Kate. She was on Fox News last night, I believe, and she got on Yahoo Finance yesterday for a fundraiser she did for an Air Force veteran that was in a horrific car crash. So congratulations, Kate Monroe and VetCom, for those media wins. All right. So let's jump to it. Why should you be the face of your company? Right out the gate, it builds trust. Think about a faceless company. All it is a website and a logo, and it's not personal. There's no soul. If you're, let's say, a veteran-owned company, and let's say you're a mechanic, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of other veteran-owned mechanic shops out there that are going to kick your ass if the owner is very public and creates a very public life about what they do. Because now patterns emerge. And so when we see somebody 2, 3, 4, 5 times, not only does our subconscious and our brain recognize patterns, but we subconsciously start to trust them. When we see somebody confidently speaking to the camera or putting out content that is related to them, it conveys authority. It gives the impression that, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. It creates an association with their industry. Usually when people see my goofy face, they associate it with PR or visibility, or they're like, hey, Rob's writing another press release, or hey, you got another client on TV, something like that. People associate me with my industry because most of the content I put out, whether it's video or written Facebook content, is about PR tips or visibility tips. And so it's gotten to a point now where most everybody that's affiliated with me knows what I do. I'm pretty open about it, and I try and consistently publish some stuff. It lets you display your industry confidently. So being the face of your company means that you step out of the shadows. It means that you make some adjustments to your social media, and it's like letting the world into your living room. And I know not everyone's comfortable with this. Some of us like being really private people. Ginger and David, for example, of Really Designs, they do a lot of clothing type stuff. Navy owned, an amazing clothing company. They make My Warrior Strategist clothing line. And they're really, for how successful they are, they really don't always like doing camera stuff. They don't always like being out there. They don't like to kind of showboat their family or the stuff that they do. And so it's an interesting juxtaposition, because some people don't like the camera. They don't like taking pictures of themselves. They don't, they think it's Instagram bullshit. Sometimes it is. But yet they're plagued by low sales. They're plagued by, hey, why isn't anyone checking out my stuff? Why isn't anyone, buying from me? This really does have a ripple effect. I know that my business tripled, maybe quintupled, once I started doing regular lives, once I started getting in front of the camera, once I started getting seen on a lot of podcasts. So I went the media route, but I work in media, so it was a natural thing. For those of you that are comfortable with it, here are some small tips that will help you to get more visible, where you don't have to be an influencer. You don't have to be a guru. You don't have to take 1,000 pictures yourself and put them on Instagram, because let's face it, those are boring ass things to look at on an Instagram profile. I don't care who you are, because it doesn't really convey anything. It's just narcissism. And I never want to take anybody down the influencer or guru route. It's just self-congratulatory bullshit. I don't know. I'm more about creating legit industry celebrities. So here's what we can do. If this is sounding good for Chris and Dennis and Diane and everybody else that's watching this, the first thing you want to do is adjust your profile picture. So you want your picture, and I'm just looking at Vet Tribe right now specifically. I'm looking at everyone's picture. Some of you guys have really clear photos and they're really close. You can see your face, you're smiling, you look nice, blah, blah, blah. You want a closer photo of your face so that people will recognize what you look like. You don't want a sports team. You don't want a logo. You don't want an anime character or a freaking cartoon or something goofy. And trust me, I am the king of goofiness. I love Iron Man. You can see behind me. I like Marvel. I like Star Wars. I like a lot of dumb shit. But my profile picture for social media, it is all this, because I want people to recognize me. I want them to remember my goofy face and know what I look like. So that's the very first thing. All your social media profile pictures should be you. Nothing else, just you. Start doing regular video work. And Joseph McIntosh just popped on. Talk about a person who has mastered the art of video. Joe McIntosh makes these incredible real estate videos. He's on the East Coast now. He was in San Diego. I miss him every single day. Him and his awesome wife came to my parties, and they were the nicest people ever. They are, if you want to see how it's done right with videos about your industry, check out what they do. Joseph and Christy McIntosh. They make these really interesting, well-edited videos about real estate. It's a lot of fun to watch, and you can see the enthusiasm when Joe is talking about real estate and teaching buyers how to buy more intelligently or sell. But lives and video are something that more people, especially veteran business owners, need to get involved in. People really like behind the scenes. And if you're one of these types that worries about running out of material, or you're like, hey, I'm not super creative, I don't know what to talk about, go on ChatGPT and just enter in a couple sentences about yourself and have it kick you out like 10 ideas. Tim Weber. It will give you video titles. It will give you like a couple of sentences, and it'll tell you, hey, talk about this and this and this. This would be interesting, blah, blah, blah. Everything I talk about usually has to do with PR, social media, and I usually have a good base of information to draw from for videos. But for those of you guys that need a little creative push, you can talk about client wins. You can talk about products that you sell. You can do your own QVC show. I always tell people to sell goods. Do a QVC show just once a week. Do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live and start selling products. Do an auction. Do a sale. For God's sake, show people what you're selling. Facebook Lives still have a lot of feasibility as far as getting your face out there. If you are nervous about doing a live, practice. Talk about something you're comfortable with for the first couple times, just to get used to the flow of it. people watching you, people asking you questions, interacting with the audience, all that stuff. And here's a tip. If you haven't done a live or you're not super comfortable doing a live, do one and just talk about something that's super innocuous and easy to discuss that puts you at ease, like your favorite relative or something your kids did that was really, really embarrassing, or your favorite high school memory, just something. You can talk about Marvel movies. You can talk about the scariest movie you ever saw, but just talk for 60 seconds. Doesn't have to be some dramatic, elaborate production. You just need to get used to talking to the camera, making good eye contact, making sure that your video is straight, you're kind of centered in the middle of the screen, and that you can comfortably interact with people. Once you master this and you're okay with being on camera, then you can start doing lives about business, and it gets easier, I promise. So some of the things your audience wants to hear about is behind the scenes, things that you've learned in business. Those are always good. If someone was talking about, hey, this is how I designed my website, and these were the features that I popped into it and how I made it work. This is how I created my, my tactical Beagle vest company, tactical Beagle vests distribution line. Sorry. I always laugh when I think about Beagle vests. All of you guys are in different industries, but all of you have behind the scenes and specialized information that people want to hear about. And it's the insider stuff that is really fascinating to watch. It is the stuff that the average person doesn't know about that will make people tune into what you're talking about. Make sure that you have a good heading on your video so that people know what you're going to be talking about. Make sure you have some kind of structure. Like even this, it sounds like I'm rambling, but I do have some notes popped down, so I make sure that I hit all these different things. Because you don't want to get on camera and just start going, You need to have like structure, fluidity, beginning, middle, end. All right. Some other ways that you can get more public with what you're doing besides lives and videos are group calls. So I would like to start doing group calls in Vet Tribe. That's something I'm probably going to be working on soon. I would like to have us get together once a week and just talk about business, get to meet each other, networking, all that stuff over Zoom. But I host a group call every Monday. Any of you guys can do this. And I just host a group call on like 2 o'clock my time, San Diego, and it's personal and business. I handpick everybody that's on the call so that we don't have like friction or weirdness or people with severe emotional problems. That has happened. But it's 16 to 25 people. It's a great hang. It's the cheapest freaking therapy you ever had in your life. Anyone can do a group call. So just food for thought. You can host your own group call, Chris Belcher, Silky Stephanie, Dennis LaRue. All of you guys can just pick a day, stick with it, and have an amazing group call every single week, and that'll get you comfortable talking to people and being visible. The next step is branded photography. So everyone does selfies. It's just the nature of the beast, especially in Southern California. My God, my Facebook stories are just out of control selfies. And I'm probably a little guilty myself working in PR. But branded photography is the next level up. And what I mean by branded photography is a picture of you with a logo or a call to action or some bullet points or a philosophical statement, little quote. I really despise the gurus, but the one thing that they do that I do admire is when they put a picture of their stupid face and a quote. And if it's a meaningful quote, I don't mean like Jay Shetty, like stealing from somebody. I mean a quote that's like a personal philosophy for you or a business philosophy. Branded photography is the next level for business owners as far as, hey, this looks good, or hey, this looks professional. So just food for thought. It's super easy to do. You can do it in 20 seconds on Canva, and Canva's free, canva.com. You upload a picture, you pop your logo on there, and maybe some words or an effect or a filter or something. And then there you go. Branded photography looks really good in a Facebook story. You pop some Zeppelin on there. You're rocking and rolling. All right. And lastly, to be the face of your company, interviews, podcasts, get on TV, all these things really help to get your face out there. And guess what? Once you have press releases issued, once you've been on the news once or twice, once you've been in a couple podcasts and it makes its way to YouTube, you're going to start showing up in searches. You're going to start showing up on Google. And then you can start doing screen grabs and making really cool collage pics for social media, right? My collage pics are crazy. There's like 15 different interviews. Like I'm in a studio or I'm on TV or I'm got a camera in my face, whatever, on a red carpet. Collage pics are the ultimate flex for your business. And they're a very powerful social media tool for conveying authority, for conveying trust, all that different stuff. So, or Mike Peterson says, start your own podcast. I completely agree, Mike. Mike makes custom Damascus knives, and it's funny that he popped up because I happen to have one of his Damascus knives. Mike made me this and put my name on it in my branch of service, which is the Air Force. So good job, Mike's Damascus knives. All right, that's about all I got for today. I'll tell you this, guys. You might not be comfortable with it right out the gate, but going public, being the face of your company, being more popular, all these things attract sales. Don't worry about what you look like. I'm like a San Diego 6, and trust me, I will put my goofy face everywhere I can. I give no shits. Just be confident. Present yourself in a good manner and start thinking about things you can broadcast that are interesting to your audience, things that are industry related, things that you've learned in your experience. And the more that you're consistently putting out video and content and interesting stuff for people to read, the more people are going to turn to you and the more referrals you're going to get. Now, I'm just talking to Vet Tribe alone right now, Vetpreneur Tribe. Once you get consistent, an interesting thing happens in Vet Tribe. You become the go-to. So there are some people in Vet Tribe that are so good at consistency and come so highly recommended that when somebody goes in there and says, hey, who do I talk to about getting my podcast going? Everyone knows Richard Kaufman. Hey, who do I talk to about IT? I have a problem with my computer. Oh, Daniel Curry, Indy's IT department. Who do I talk to about a copyright? Andy Nelson. So understand that at a certain point, if you're a Gladwell fan, in Vetpreneur Tribe, the tipping point does occur if you are consistent, if you are providing value, if you are sharing things you've learned that genuinely help people without just pitching your company every single day. But what you want to do, you want to be known as the authority, the person that everyone turns to. And it comes with branded content. Okay. Time and time again, I've seen people, and I know Vet Tribe isn't always a super consistent group. I know it seems kind of goofy sometimes. I'm the social media content manager, and trust me, I scroll through it, and I'm just like, Jesus, I really need to step it up. And it was a lot easier when I could automate, to be honest. But the people that have broken through and become industry celebrities to where there are 7 people promoting them for referrals, it's because they consistently put in good content. They're making interesting looking graphics and they're having conversations with people. They're getting to know people. That is being the face of your company, is being accessible, being knowledgeable, and being trusted. All right. That's all I got. I will dismiss the formation and let you guys get back to your day. Thanks so much for checking this out. Hopefully there's been some value provided. If you guys ever have questions, feel free to drop me a message on Messenger. I love talking about PR and visibility. I got myself 255 plus media interviews, and it's not nearly as hard as people think. So that's all I got. I'm Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist out of San Diego. And as always, stay famous. I'll see you guys next time.